Hi, my name is Angelica. If you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about stuff like weight loss, health, wellness, and fat acceptance. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please consider subscribing. Today I wanted to talk about how the potential TikTok ban could really impact the fat acceptance movement. I have some notes on my phone, so I will be looking down in case you're wondering what I'm doing. If you know anything about fat acceptance, TikTok is really where I feel like it resides. TikTok is such an accessible, easy platform to use and create content on, so I feel like that's probably one of the biggest reasons why. Like before TikTok was big, I never saw anything about fat acceptance on Instagram or YouTube. Creating content on TikTok is super easy and, to be honest, doesn't really require much effort. Like if you post on Instagram, usually posts that do well are very aesthetically pleasing, and then of course if you want to post on YouTube, it just takes a lot more time and effort. Like you really have to put in a lot of energy to create longer content, especially if it has a lot of detail. So I feel like the simplicity of TikTok has made it an ideal space for lazy or casual content, allowing the fat acceptance movement to really spread its message very quickly and loudly. And since I feel like fat acceptance kind of really resides on TikTok, if TikTok were to be banned next month, like a lot of people believe it will be, I think it could drastically reduce the visibility of the fat acceptance movement. Many creators depend on TikTok's format to reach their audience, and I feel like it's very hard to replicate or get the same following by stuff that you post on TikTok on other social media platforms and really have like the same growth and success that you would on TikTok. Especially on YouTube. Like if you want to grow on YouTube, like you gotta be grinding on this shit for literally years. But on TikTok, you can become overnight famous because of just one video. And of course, you can go viral on any platform like Instagram or YouTube, but it takes a lot more work and a lot more effort to create content on platforms that prioritize like aesthetics and having more polished content. And I don't know how many fat acceptance creators would come over to platforms like Instagram and YouTube, because obviously it is so much more work and effort. And every social media platform has their own algorithm, and it really is difficult to continuously try and grasp the concept or, you know, like what other social media platforms like content creators to post. It's a game. It's a game on every social media platform. But I think it's especially hard from someone to go to TikTok over to Instagram or TikTok over to YouTube, because all platforms kind of require something different. While you can post short form vertical videos on Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, all the algorithms are completely different, and everyone has wanted TikTok's algorithm for so long and no one can replicate it on any other platform. And I think that's another reason why it will be even more complicated for people in the fat acceptance community to grow on Instagram or YouTube. So because it takes so much more effort to learn more social media platforms, I don't know how many people will continue to create the same fat acceptance content. Like I feel like a lot of people, you know, the ones that are just posting casually and maybe they don't make a living off of social media, they will kind of abandon the fat acceptance movement, or at least abandon making content about the fat acceptance community because of how much more effort they have to put in. You know, you really gotta love something to continuously post about it on social media and not make a fucking penny. I mean, I know people post as hobbies, but most of the time when people post on social media, they hope that they will be able to make some sort of income. I mean, I am really super passionate about debunking things from fat acceptance and weight loss, but I of course have hopes to monetize this channel because we live in late stage capitalism, baby. I got bills to pay. But I've also been making YouTube videos since I was 8. My first YouTube video ever was a music video to You're So Gay by Katy Perry. So there is a lot of passion behind me posting videos, but of course your girl would like a penny or two, because just posting one video on YouTube, even if it is super simple, like at least takes 2 or 3 hours, because you have to film, edit, write your description, add all of your different tags, make a thumbnail. Like, it would be amazing to make some money off of posting. So I really am interested to see if TikTok gets banned, if people will migrate to other platforms, especially because, you know, there is Instagram and there is YouTube Shorts to post short form vertical content. But even just like filming in these apps is so much different than TikTok. TikTok has made it so much easier to go viral and reach people, when on Instagram and YouTube it could literally take years to mass a good following that is super loyal to you. And TikTok TikTok as a platform, I feel like is very casual. You know, anyone can post, you know, anyone with a smartphone or an iPad or a tablet could post on TikTok. And of course, anyone and everyone can post on Instagram and YouTube too. But if you don't have very polished content on Instagram or YouTube, it is not likely to get as much traction as it would on TikTok. So I definitely think if TikTok is going to be banned, there's definitely going to be less people talking about the fat acceptance movement, which I hope less people learn about the fat acceptance movement, to be honest, because I think the fat acceptance community does a lot of harm. And I think the fat acceptance movement has started to dwindle within the last couple of years, and I would like to see it continue to dwindle because I want people in the fat acceptance community to come back to reality and realize that they do have control over their weight and they can lose weight, and they probably actually should lose weight and take care of themselves emotionally, physically, spiritually. Even though I critique the fat acceptance movement, I do wish people in the fat acceptance movement the best. I want everyone to have the happiest, most fulfilled life, but not everyone can give that to themselves, because when you're in the fat acceptance movement, you are very bitter and depressed. Social media plays a massive role in shaping our thoughts, beliefs, and exposure to movements like fat acceptance. And algorithms are key to amplifying these messages. On all social media platforms, the algorithm pushes content to like-minded people, which is good because it helps people create communities, but it also can help people create echo chambers, which I feel like TikTok is really good at, which is a bad thing. I watch like a lot of anti-fat acceptance creators, and some people will show the comments between Glitter and Laser's TikTok versus YouTube versus Instagram, and everything is so drastically different. Like on TikTok, fat acceptance and like obesity, plus size creators receive way more positivity than they do on other platforms. If anything, I almost feel like if we look at Glitter and Laser, for example, like on TikTok, everything is like, you go girl, you get out there, good job. And then if you go on YouTube, people are like more negative and more critical. And I do feel like Instagram comments are also becoming more critical to people. On TikTok, you're kind of like in your safe bubble unless a video goes like super viral. Then you'll have people from outside the fat acceptance community seeing whatever outrageous content is posted. For example, when that one person told me that I was dead to them because I decided I want to be a part of the fat acceptance community, for like the first couple hours or like the day, the comments were super supportive of them and being like, fuck those people, if they lose weight, it's fat phobic, blah blah blah. Yeah, people that lose weight are dead to me. Things like that. But the video got so big that it started to reach outside the community, and they started to receive criticism for that post. Once you get past that like 500,000 into the millions on TikTok, that's when people from all backgrounds start to come in and start to leave some comments, and they'll let you know if they agree or disagree with you. And while so many social media platforms want to replicate TikTok's algorithm because it is so good, it is very niche, you know, every single person I know has a completely different algorithm. And TikTok's algorithm is completely catered to each and every single one of us on the platform, you know, which is nice, but then it gives us a skew version of reality and we end up in echo chambers. TikTok's algorithm is really good at letting people go viral, which I think has also helped the fat acceptance movement grow. You know, I feel like every single person in my life has gone viral at least once on TikTok, and it is so easy to gain followers and views on TikTok, but it feels almost impossible to get those same amount of views on Instagram and YouTube. TikTok has become a social media platform that so many different generations use. Like my mom has never been on Instagram, but she got on TikTok. Like so many different types of people use TikTok. And if TikTok gets banned, I don't think my mom is going to make an Instagram to watch the same content that she does on TikTok. The following and the engagement that people get on TikTok really stays on TikTok. You know, I really hope that TikTok doesn't get banned, especially because I have built my business on TikTok. Like I sell these crystal toggle necklaces on TikTok, and a majority of my sales come from TikTok shop. So if it gets banned, I am going to have to completely restructure my business. And if TikTok gets banned, then fat acceptance will have to restructure their movement as well. There are very few podcasts that I know of that are about fat acceptance. I don't know of really any fat acceptance creators on YouTube, and I really don't see too much fat acceptance on Instagram either. So I'm not sure if the movement will survive if TikTok gets banned. You guys, if TikTok gets banned, what is everyone gonna make content about? Social media algorithms amplify messages and play a crucial role in spreading awareness and building communities. Without TikTok, I don't think fat acceptance ever would have gotten this big. I knew that there was a body positive movement on Instagram before TikTok came around, but body positivity back then is not the same thing that fat acceptance now is on TikTok. And we know that algorithms and social media really influence how we think about things. Say the fat acceptance community doesn't transfer over to Instagram or YouTube, I think that the fat acceptance community is going to continue to dwindle because they aren't going to have as big of a voice to try and influence people to stay fat or gain weight and glorify obesity. They're not going to have their claws in anyone anymore. I would love to hear everyone's opinions down below. Let me know if you think TikTok is going to get banned, and if it gets banned, do you think that this is going to be the reason that the fat acceptance movement ends? I really don't want TikTok to get banned because it has been a really great source of news, and it's been a great way for regular people to connect to each other and share their stories. But at the same time, I think a lot of bad stuff has came from it, like creating echo chambers and not allowing people to see the full reality of life. Another thing I don't like about TikTok is that I feel like it has exacerbated a lot of people's phone addiction. But that's it for me. Please share your opinions down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video, and if you enjoy me, consider subscribing. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Peace.